Hi!
Hi everyone.
Oh, now we can say everyone. Yeah. Sometimes I get confused between the languages. Um, Hi. And so this is a live stream, but we are just going to talk about a topic because we don't actually expect that someone's going to ask a question. If you have a question, feel free to ask it. But so far in the last live streams, we didn't have any questions. So we're basically going to summarize what we talked about in the German live stream with a lot of questions. So there's many people also attending live, which please feel invited to really join live if you like these live streams, because
That's why.
that makes them much more alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we wanted to talk about the
The title of
fact
the video.
that this year we will celebrate our 10-year anniversary and
Of marriage.
of
And
marriage and 15
15
years
years.
of being a couple.
Yes.
Did the math right.
Ooh.
And yeah, so far we don't have children, and we got asked, why is this? Why don't we have children yet?
Yes, and so there's multiple reasons for that, and they're very various, very different from each other. And so let's start with the one that we actually said at as the last point in the German live stream, because it's actually the most important.
Yeah.
So it does have to do with the topic of recovery and eating disorder recovery, because one of the reasons we don't have children yet is because for most of the time that we've been together and have been married, actually all of the pretty much not all, like there's been ups and downs, but what I want to say is for most of the time that we've been together as a couple, I always had some type of irregularities and issues with my cycle, hence fertility. And so it's hard to have children when you're not able to have children, basically.
So it's basically not possible.
Yes.
Not only hard, but also not possible.
Exactly. But it was not like we were always wanting to and wishing for children so bad, but we couldn't. So that's why it's only one of the reasons. Just if we had wanted it for the majority of the time, it would have been difficult to actually get children, which is a problem for very many women that have an eating disorder or are in an energy deficit or have amenorrhea, which is basically not having a period. That they cannot have children, and for many people that is also a reason to recover for them, because they really want to have children. And so for me, I never was like very inclined and eager to have kids. Just it was not something that was on my list. Like, I'm wondering why. I think it's because I just had very many dreams and plans to begin with. After I finished school, I started traveling, and also part of that was that I had been ill with the eating disorder, but also, if you want to say the typical anorexia. So I was in hospital also, and I was in the eating disorder treatment. And so I kind of did not experience the normal teenage life for some time. And so a natural reaction to that was I just wanted to live life and just live and kind of make up for some of that time after school. And then we already knew each other then. Like we got to know each other in high school, if you want, in the school band actually. um, yeah, pretty soon we like. I guess at that point it just wasn't on our agenda. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were still
just
too young.
Yeah, just happy together, and then we married, and actually, so it was some time like after. Is that right? Yeah, after 5 years, I think we married. Yeah. We found out about a thing called veganism, and just some, it's just something that we found out about, and it resonated with us, and for me it was 2013. For you, about 1 year later. And for some of you who have been around my channel or in general at that time, veganism was very, very associated also with that type of message of
not having children.
Yeah. I would even go as far as maybe even anti-children. Like, it's just not a good idea to have children in this world for some, some good reasons, I guess, also some logical and rational reasons. The world is not the beautiful world we would like it to be, and there is challenges, and there are certainly things that you should think about before. And of course, it's difficult. I just want to say we actually thought about that also very much, and also thought that it does make sense to maybe not be so tunnel visioned on, yes, we just get our own children just like everyone else. It really helped us. I think it was good that we thought about these things. Like with anything else, it's always good to look at like from other perspectives, and the reasons against and the reasons for. And yes, while we did not go as far as getting a vasectomy, as many people did in that time also, and then also some of them regretted it.
Yeah.
And not always successfully reversed. Yeah. That's very tragic. And I mean, yeah, it's not all just positive, we believe, as many people talk about it. It's a big deal. It's not just like snip snip and cut and everything is great. You can just do whatever you want. But we believe that it can have a huge impact on the hormones also, and like of the man. And it's just just not something. It felt a bit extreme at times also, and you didn't feel very well about the thought in general, because it's like, you cannot expect it to be reversed successfully. So it's a very kind of final decision, and that didn't sit so well with us. And so then the next thing was so for me, veganism was always ethical. I mean, I talk about that very much. Always was, still is. But the moment I dived into veganism was also the moment where my eating disorder grabbed veganism and just ran with it. And I just got very obsessive about things also within veganism. For example, also that movement of just doing lots of exercise and high carb and unlimited calories, but then at the same time also it wasn't deemed to be necessary, but still very much encouraged to just do it in order to be fit and healthy and stuff. And it was a lot of fun, but for me, I just took it too far for me personally.
And
I've burned out.
Crashed,
yeah, totally. Physically, I had adrenal fatigue is the very, kind of trendy name for it. It's basically when the adrenals, they're not broken, but it's like kind of drained and dysfunctional. It's just your body's under so much stress that systems go out of whack. And I had to deal with it for a couple of years to actually get back to normal again. When it was the worst, I just slept for 16 hours. And so, just long story short, I also have videos on that, very detailed, on my channel. If you're interested in that, in my experience, you can watch that. And it's important to say, I don't believe it's only because I might have not eaten enough for that level of exercise I did. I think it's also, it was too intense for my body and maybe also female body, whatever.
And you also, during that time, you didn't have your cycle.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because of the stress. Yeah. And I think also energy deficit, even though I was eating unlimited calories, but it's just stress. Yeah. If it's chronic stress, it's very, very detrimental for your health. Yeah. And I basically I just was busy getting along and staying alive. To say it in a dramatic way, I did not have any capacities whatsoever, mentally or physically, to think about to even think about that topic of having children. It was not on my radar. And then later, there was also the issue of me having had a parasite. Just, my life was good in general, but just ups and downs in health, mentally and physically. And I didn't really feel like, oh, now, there was never the moment where I thought, oh, well, maybe now let's think about having children. It's just like, I was just happy to function normally again.
And I think you wanted to like embrace in this new feeling of just like your body being normal.
Yeah, and being relaxed. I just wanted to relax. Just the thought of having it, just honestly, just, was heißt nur abstoßen? I don't know. No, disgusted is a little bit too much, but it was just like I rejected that thought. It was nothing in me. I just felt like I do not want this, because I just wanted to relax for once, which I think is understandable. And so maybe I just say, what's the new thing? So for us, it was never like, it just, we talked about it regularly, but nothing, not because it was a wish of ours, but because we just wanted it to stay in conversation. And then recently, like in the last couple of months, after half a year of real recovery, I experienced something that I had never experienced before.
And that was a
dream.
Well, you experienced dreams before, but not that kind of
specific dream. And it was just about the dream was basically a vision of just having children in general, which was, when I woke up, it just super, super awkward, because I never had this and I never felt like that could be something positive before. I am used to people asking me like, yeah, but how? You're a woman. Like, every woman likes children, which I think it's okay for a woman to exist without wanting it, but it just blew my mind, because I don't know this from myself, from my past, these kind of thoughts that I think about an own child in a positive or happy way. It was kind of like that was a night dream, but then also I started daydreaming about it. And that's something that's something I've never done before. And I just found it so like funny and hilarious, but also like I just let it be and was open to it. And for us, there's no question. So I talked to David then also about it. And I mean, it's like a miracle to us, just because we truly believe it has everything to do with the real recovery and like the physical recovery, the mental recovery, that there's capacities, both mentally and physically, to entertain the thought of having a child in a positive way. I don't know. Yeah, it's just crazy. I feel like I'm rambling so much. You're not saying anything.
Well, you're talking so
yeah,
good.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, there were so, like, in the past 10 years, the years of our marriage, there were like, for every season there was a reason why
Ooh.
we didn't have children that time. Yes. So who knows?
Yes.
What's coming up in the next season?
For now, we're just completely open. I mean, what we will always do is kind of, we want to arrange it within the idea and the like our plan, our draft for our life. We also, like, our very big dream and our very big project, which we forgot to mention, is a property we have in the Philippines, which we are also going back to as soon as we can, maybe sometime next year. And that was something, I think, in 2016, that was also a reason why we just were just busy with this kind of project in our lives, which is also a dream, like a very big thing for us, a very new chapter, many resources mentally and physically, financially, time-wise, and everything went into that.
Yep.
So that was another reason why that was kind of our baby and still is. And so, yeah, I mean, we're not going to hurry just because biologically we should hurry now or something. We believe that if we're supposed to have children, then God is going to give us the right timing, and then it's also going to be blessed, and it's not going to be too late. And so we just chill with it and let it sit for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Was there anything we forgot?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we actually wanted to talk about this topic because we got a question about it. So that's why maybe there's several people wondering. Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Then let
Have
us
a
end
good
it
one.
here. Yeah, have a good one, and we see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye-bye.